Welcome back. Sorry we're a wee bit longer there than expected, but hope you are all good and refreshed out there. So, Scale and Cyric, as you get to the front door of this place, you are confronted with your good friend Jarlaxle, who has wandered in with a couple of his main bodyguards, and who hails you, and he just goes, "Oh, well, you were much more effective than I was expecting you to be, I must admit, but I did enjoy watching you from one of my wizard companions scrying. Quite impressive, actually, considering the amount of the silken wool you've dispatched."
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, and there was a weird tiger man.
Yeah, smells.
I saw that. Rakshasa replacing the Overgold, I must admit, was quite a surprise, even to myself.
I saw it coming.
He just smiles and winks at him.
As Scales lugging his hefty chest.
Oh,
He
yeah.
seems unperturbed by the fact you're dragging the chest.
Yeah, the Overgold's dead. He's also in that chest.
Not this one. The other chest.
Yeah.
Good. Well, not good. I'm glad he's not in that chest, is what I mean. But
yeah, that'd be gross.
It's unfortunate that he hadn't been kept around, but not unsurprising. I must admit, I kind of assumed he'd died weeks ago. Not like them, but my men have gone into the tower above. The ripple of the passing of Mistress Oblodra went through. It was felt by the others as they had this psychic connection, so you will find no further resistance. As I said before, I am going to go through, pick out any potential ringleaders of dissent and dispatch them, but the vast majority of them shall be brought into the Brigand Dearth, and we shall take control of this place. I think it will make quite a nice hideout, I suppose, for want of a better term.
Are you parked out back?
You know, during I imagine during this time when he's talking to us, he's like speaking to the air, and we're just dragging this chest behind him.
Or you're continuing to drag us.
Yeah.
Anytime we're not talking to him, we immediately keep dragging.
That's fine.
We're the real
You will probably have to clean up the place. A lot of blood.
A lot of blood and dinosaur poop.
I did see your small gnome friend eat Mistress Oblodra. I'm not going to lie, I did find that very amusing and was quite happy with the outcome.
Oh,
Yeah,
twist
I'm
ending.
proud of him too.
Yeah, he's really coming into himself.
It
Twist
was
ending.
definitely a surprising outcome, I'm not going to lie to you, but it did brighten my day.
I don't think she was expecting, even with all of her psychic powers.
Very, very true, very true.
We're half down the beach by this point.
It's so funny, it's like you're talking louder and louder because you're getting further and further away.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's good to see you.
And he's probably like, I've never seen somebody so rude. And we're like, oh, they're talking to us.
This guy.
These guys.
We just share this look like no.
But no, I think he's very comfortable with all of that because he likes odd people like yourselves, and a little bit of eccentricity just makes the world a more interesting place.
We've got that covered.
You do indeed.
The shark and the snake are taking the loot.
I mean, Cyric could just turn into a bull and just literally take it, but no, he's just.
I mean, yeah.
Nope.
He won't do it
That's
though.
boring.
No,
That's not how we do it.
He's a warlock now, okay?
Yeah.
So Alton and Mara, how long do you stay there, Mara? Do you start to ask Alton or Garvin to help with the chest? Do you leave the overgold in there?
No, we take with us the overgold. Mara will basically just wrap him up, clean his face, and we'll carry him out. Is there anything else in the chest?
There was
No,
a release when you lifted up, and a whole other thing. No.
I think you probably find his priestly accoutrement, sort of just someone's just tossed in the chest at his feet, like his medallion and ring and stuff like that. But
Just to
symbol
give a
of
chat a bit of an
Joaquin
idea of the size of the dungeon that we just completed. It was many weeks of effort.
Yeah.
That's
And I'll bring them into just the death room. Sorry now to be interrupting, but these are all the people who died. There's a lot of them.
Absolutely.
high priest.
Don't even bother. Right. So, I think Alton will just be waiting on Mara, essentially, because she's sort of getting things straight in her head at the moment, and when she's moving out, sort of go.
As Mara picks out all the high priest robe or whatever, and the symbols and everything, she'll just quietly ask Joaquin, "Is this a sign? Is this what you want me to really do?"
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, it is.
Joaquin, you sound like a small gnome.
I so want Alton to respond like that.
No, he does.
Real life.
He does.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he does, and he's just sort of giving her like just the cheekiest little boy smile ever.
But Mara doesn't look at him. She just goes, "Should I give jam to Alton, Joaquin?"
Yes. That is, of course, that is the mission of yes.
And she's gonna look down at the robes. I guess that answers it then.
Is Mara going to do a genuine attempt to commune with Joaquin as well? Or is that something she
divine
may do later
intervention.
on? No,
Not-
but I know, but like
Well, she's kind of
there
is asking
is a
for
there is a
divine
flavor.
intervention.
There is a flavor. There is I would say
Yeah.
actually yes. That's exactly what
Yeah.
you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'll try.
Is she trying to do it just now, or is that something she's going to do later on?
No, she's gonna do it now. It'll give her direction.
Okay, yeah, just roll the dice in the same way that you would if it was divine intervention.
After Alton kind of screwing with Mara, he's just going to sort of chase him and Quilla just chase each other around the room for a little bit.
A religion check, you said? Quit?
No, there's a specific thing if you look divine intervention.
You roll a d100, and
Yeah.
you think is it 20% chance? Is that what it is?
Level. It's
Something. Maybe it is something to do with your
It's
level.
something to do with level.
It should be in your. On
You
your
have to roll
sidebar.
below your level.
Yes, you have to roll.
Yeah.
below levels. It's unlikely, but possible.
level. Let's see, 21. Hmm. 88.
Of course.
Impressive.
She really has been the silent partner in this endeavor, hasn't she, Mara?
Yeah.
You
No.
asked the wrong one. You need to ask bald silvery hand dude.
He's not a god. I can't ask him.
Who is that?
Divine intervention doesn't state God, does it?
Kind of.
Yes, it does.
You
Your
have the
deity.
divine Yeah. You're on your deity, yeah.
Your deity. Yeah.
Also, it says divine.
That the bald hand dude is divine.
He was
Not a
alright.
god.
I wouldn't say divine.
Yeah.
He was
An
pretty
8
hot.
at least.
He was pretty
He
hot.
was an 8 at least.
Christ almighty.
He was a Baldur's Gate 7, and we both know it, okay?
But I think Mara, you're yeah, it's in the moment, but there is no response from your goddess.
Yeah. She'll pack down the things and they'll tow the body away. Respectfully.
She'll tow the body away respectfully.
I mean, I imagine Garvin
By the
just
hair
takes
and
it,
just-
right?
Yeah, Garvin will do,
Yeah.
Because actually, yeah, it's a big chest, but the body itself does not weigh an awful lot because it's just desiccated
Yeah,
skin.
and it's been rewrapped up and everything, and sprayed some
Yeah.
moisture on
So
there.
I think with Garvin's
Makeup.
strength, what's his strength, like 19 or 20 or something like that? I think he just hefts it up onto his shoulder.
Just
You know,
spritz some
sort of
Febreze.
like that, and just braces it there and just walks off with it.
Ooh. Ugh.
No, I mean
Fabric
that's one thing that I didn't say
Febreze.
is there's very little smell associated with the
Febreze.
corpse.
Corpse
That's a cantrip life clerics have.
I'm gonna be-
Yeah.
Who's the cleaning god?
Probably Mr. Pledge.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, or Mr. Muscle.
We call him Downey.
Yeah. Also Sif.
What the fuck is the name of the bald guy with the earring? Never mind.
That's Mr. Muscle. Loves the jobs you hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're
It
getting
might
sidetracked.
be called something different in Sweden.
So I
Welcome
I
to D&D, where we talk
in
about cleaning up
speeding up
appliances.
this one scene we've been stuck at for a while.
Yeah.
I think we Alton and Garvin leading the way with the body, and Alton will be walking out with Mara, kind of holding her hand.
Yeah, following
You
the track
both,
marks from the chest.
Yes.
Yeah.
You two both quickly come across Jarlaxle as well, who sort of sees you dragging or Garvin carrying the chest, and he just sort of raises an eyebrow and goes, "Is this another chest full of gold? It looks like your dwarven companion is somewhat stronger than the lady and her snake."
Yes.
That's a novel title.
the lady.
That's our band name.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that would be the porn group. The
This is starting to sound like the last day of school.
Let's go.
Essentially is.
let's break something. Mara would just nod. This one is not as heavy. It carries only the remain.
I'm sorry to hear that. They did give me the news. I genuinely did think that the Overgold was still alive, but it turns out it was that danged Rakshasa. You do know you'll have to look out for yourselves, as you cannot kill them. It's simply been banished back to the Hells, and it will recorporealize at some point, and it will be intent on getting revenge upon each and every one of you for banishing it. It may take 6 months, may take 18 months, but it will be back, and you will be the focus of its attention when it comes back.
Alton will give him a big, broad smile, ruffle his lips, and Alton scales all over him, sort of two slitted dinosaur eyes. And he would say, "We will be here. We'll be ready."
We can
That
give him
was-
some revenge of our own.
Well, that was very impressive, Mr. Gnome, but
Alton,
whilst I very much enjoyed you eating the priestess, I did hope to potentially be able to show her corpse off to any of the remaining Silken Wool that were not convinced of her demise, but
do you have a P.O. box?
no, but I do have a portable commode for you.
It's just like a concert tent. It's just, you know, those terrible. Yeah. Well, I'll be sure to contact you when.
And he just starts. He sort of makes it. No, I don't. That's far too unseemly. Anything that you manage to recover is yours to keep. I do not wish any part of that.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
But our accord is done. Our business is concluded.
You'll bring us back to our ship.
And oh yes, I do. Will the Scarlet Mapinoff is there to take you back to the ship, which is only moored an hour or so away off the coast. So you should be back on your boat shortly.
So Jarlaxle is that it? Is the world defeated?
I don't like to say defeated as much as it has been absorbed into my own organization, and I am now the one in control of it. And as I was quite blatantly truthful to you the last time, I am the better of two evils. I have my own wishes and my own whims, but I am not evil for evil's sake, and I am not desperate to become part of Drow society once again.
Here's a question for you. What's the grey substance? The liquid grey substance? And some in a trough. It was behind something I thought was a throne. Any idea?
No, I'm not aware of anything like that at all, but
Spicy.
if it was, it's probably something that is hidden from the males. I do not know if you know much about the original Drow society, but all of the high leaders, and especially of the priesthood, are all women, and they keep the secrets of Lolth very much to themselves, so that is probably why I'm unaware of it.
I think flippantly and just no longer engaging with Jarlaxle, Alton will just sort of you think this Lolth knows Anna Orkis?
I don't think so.
Maybe they're sisters.
Love that thought.
I don't think so. She might know her. I don't know all.
Maybe we and Alton will sort of give a cheeky look up to Mara. Maybe we'll have to ask her ourselves.
Maybe we should, Alton. Maybe. I mean, and if we ever find Celia again, he might want to talk to her again.
Come on, we should go.
I don't want to be down here anymore.
Scale's gonna be really upset if she doesn't get to share all of her loot.
I wouldn't. Yes, Alton. Let's go.
And you managed, obviously with Garvin's help, to quite quickly catch up with Scale and Cyric as they're starting to load their chest down into the submarine. You do the same as reverently as possible with the chest containing the Overgold's
I was
corpse.
just gonna say, funk.
So I can imagine Alton like, are you sure you need this? Burial at sea. Just chuck him in
Just
the
tie it
harbour.
off the end of the submarine. Sorry, carry on.
No, that's fine. And quite quickly, you know, the people on board can feel the somber nature of Mara and leave you all to yourselves. And quite quite soon you're back climbing up the ladder and transferring yourself over to the Storm Petrel once more. Probably after this is all played out, it is probably now the next morning. So another beautiful sunny day. Very cold wind though, as it's now coming into autumn, and those beautiful clear skies that you get most in spring and autumn, when there's just the sun high in the sky, very few clouds, but the very chill edge to the wind as the last of the night passes on. Is there anything anyone would want to say or do as you travel back to Neverwinter, with Mara probably feeling quite down at the prospect of giving the news to her friend?
I think Alton will certainly have a conversation with Mara at some stage during this sort of watch.
Mara won't sleep the first night.
You've got probably 2 or 3 days journey on the boat back to Neverwinter Harbour.
Alton will sleep like a baby. And hope he doesn't have a bowel movement. But
he almost certainly does, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah. Sure. If we can figure out what I get out of my... What kind of loot I get after. What kind of table is that?
You've got another ring of Misty Step.
Nice.
And it's a submarine, so it's not going anywhere.
I think Alton will at some stage approach Mara at a quiet moment. Mm-hmm. So, does this mean you're the Overgirl now?
I don't know.
Do you want to be?
I don't know. Sometime.
I think you'd be.
Yeah, but that's not really what I'm thinking about.
What are you thinking about?
Do I want the adventure to end here?
I know the answer.
Okay.
He'll what will he do? He now has loads of spells. What will he do now?
Suggestion.
Okay. On the way back, and at this point, Alton will have tried to remove the beard.
No.
What will he have done to try and remove the beard?
He will have tried a dagger at first, something small, nimble.
It cuts and grows back.
Okay, instantly grows back?
No, like over a day or something.
Okay. So it's not been a day when this conversation is being had. He'll try it with a magic weapon next. Future reference. But anyway, at this moment, he has got like a tree stubble at the moment. He's got 5 o'clock branch,
Fine.
Yeah, so he will minor illusion if they're looking over the side of the water. In the water, following along the boat, will be a reflection of Celir looking back up.
Oof. Right in the feels. How does Mara react to that?
She just starts off by just looking concerned.
How often do you read a book without the final chapter?
That is true. We do have a deep responsibility to bring him back. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
What is he in Jurassic Negative World?
You're muted, Jabber. You're muted, Jabber.
You just see Celer, and in the minor illusion, he just pulls out the deck of anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, man, yeah. That's exactly what he does. And he in the reflection, and he sort of just looks up with that nonchalant.
Yeah. He pulls a card and that one disappears as well.
and then illusion slowly disappears.
Well, I don't exactly know what the future holds for you, Mara. I get to be with us, but I'd understand if you didn't. I want to go and get my friend back.
It's just that if Joaquin tells me to become the Overgold, I can't deny. I may
And
be able
the
to
Overgold
postpone
can't
it.
take a holiday.
Yeah.
Listen, it's fine if you don't want to. If Joaquin tells you not to and you obey, that's fine too. I'll write you.
Yeah.
And I think, as just a few seconds after you said that, Cyric also walks up, puts his hand on your shoulder. Well, right here. We have someone to find.
But I don't know yet.
I don't think Scale will write you. Look back, Scale.
Gail's in the hold counting her money.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just outside a porthole to the captain's, and she's just in there.
Not gonna lie,
We all-
the boat is riding fairly low in the water.
Got that money.
Yeah, she's considering throwing out the two boys into the sea just to sort of get the extra ballast.
Please. We all know Mara would be first to go.
Water walking. Time to run.
You can think about it some more. You don't have to answer any questions.
Ultimately, if it goes out of my hand, if she tells me to become the Overgold, then I can't decide.
Of course. That's fine. But
I can ask her
it's
again
really
in
fine.
a
You
week.
might, maybe you can do more good from that position. We don't know.
Yeah. I have a responsibility to get Celia. And that's something that we have to do.
Responsibility for the time being is to get closure for the boy and his mother.
Yeah.
That's step one.
Yeah.
Step two is me convincing you to keep traveling with us. But we haven't got to that yet.
No.
I'll do it though.
Yeah. And she will look out for Slayer again. Well, I think I'm already convinced, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of us lean.
Yeah. I think Alton will give her a hug, a leg, probably.
Mara will get down and hug him back. And Mara will give Cyric a hug as well.
No.
Yes.
No, you won't.
Yes. You will learn.
And I think at that point, just to think like Garvin will also sort of turn on, or he'll have always sort of been there because he's never far from your side, and he just goes, well, whatever you decide, Mara, you know that I'll be there for you, protecting your back.
Yeah.
Whether it's from hydras and dragons or whether it's from scheming bastards, I'll be there.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Garvin.
And in the background, taking some of the fish, putting them in the sea.
I think that's the point we sort of pan away.
Oh, I have a last thing.
And all right, sorry, on you go.
Mara is going to cast Speak with the Dead the day after
Oh.
because she gets the new spells with the Overgold.
Ah,
Ooh,
okay.
does she want to be alone for that?
I don't know, honestly. I think she's...
What would the character do?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think she would be alone, yeah. Let
Okay.
me just...
So you take the corpse out. Sort of, I take it you lay it on a cloth on the bed
It's
or
like
something.
Weekend
Yeah,
at
right.
Bernie's. We have sunglasses on it.
Snap it out like it's like you're hanging up washing.
We have an umbrella drink in his hand. Sorry.
You cast a spell, and there's a sort of a brief moment because is this a spell that Mara's ever cast before?
No.
No.
The spell fails if the corpse has been dead for the last 10... If the target of the spell...
No, it fails if someone has cast the spell on
sorry.
the corpse in 10 days. Sorry, you're reading that. I read it the same way to begin with, so it's not a problem at all.
Okay.
But for a second, there's just a wee flutter of panic as nothing happens. And then there's just a dry rasp as the desiccated and shredded lungs try to take a breath that's impossible to hold. And its head just sort of... It's just fixed on you as the caster of the spell.
Do you have a final message for your family?
Just that I loved them.
Hate them. There we go. Just to be a dick.
Stay in the pocket, Tara. Stay in the pocket.
Yeah. Do you have any final wishes?
Look after them for me.
I will. How long have you been... 16 years.
5 minutes. I was alive when you found me. I've been in a chest. I suffocated.
What are you talking about?
No, come on, calm down. I think he just goes, I do not know. And Mara would know he's only aware of what he knew in life, so he has no concept of how time has passed.
Right. Yeah. Damn it. I know I'm gonna think of like way better things after this. Fucking damn it. Too many things. I'm so sorry because I just...
No, this is fine. The thing is, as well, is I would think that this is actually something that Mara would agonize over. So it's probably get the obvious ones out of the way, and then she's like, "Fuck, I've got 2 left. What do I say?"
Yeah. Do you understand that I'm sorry that I didn't get to save you?
You get no response to that.
after my final question, will you go to Joaquin?
Yes, my soul is already there. And the magic of the spell goes.
Mara will just look and feel troubled, slightly relieved, but she'll probably put him back into the box and close it.
Roll them up like a
Yeah.
towel. Okay. Does anyone else want to do or say anything on the remainder of the journey?
1001, 1002, 1004, 1005.
Scales just in the hole. It's like Scrooge McDuck.
I think Cyric will take some time off to speak alone with Alton.
Okay.
So, we're really going to do this now then?
Yes.
Well, it will be quite hard for us. But I think we should, well, we'll be alright. We've been through a lot, all of us, and I'm sorry, my friend, if I haven't always been open or to you.
You haven't?
Never mind.
Huh.
Sir, my question is, should we head out straight away? Or do you have anything you feel like you need to do first?
I think we should wait as long as it takes Mara reach the decision both think she's going to reach. Do not want to rush her. Might be a week, month. I wouldn't feel right doing this without her. Now, if she makes the decision to stay, we have to move. We have to find something.
Indeed.
Perhaps go back to the Azure Wizard on the coastline and see what she has to say. Something, I don't know. We still don't know exactly how to get to where he is.
That is true. Well,
But that
they
doesn't
were
matter.
about finding something out. We did do that thing for them,
It's true.
didn't we?
We did that thing for them. Doesn't matter. To be honest, I don't think there's anything we cannot fumble our way through at this point, Cyric.
Well, you're probably right.
So, depending. I don't think the answers lie in Neverwinter, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely not. I don't want to go back there.
I mean, neither. Do you know any good places?
Well,
Places with lots of jam and berries.
Cyric pulls up the map that he got from Jarl Axel of the fiery mountain thing. I've heard that this place can be very nice if we make it our own.
Oh, my heart!
I think Alton will look at this in amazement.
And what you see in this is there's like, I think I said 6 different potential sites marked, but most of them are in and around the Sword Coast area.
Yeah.
And Alton will sort of, as he's looking in amazement, he will left hand out of his pocket a rat. Good snake. Good snake. I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah, me too.
I think we're going to die, but I think we're going to be great.
Hey, we haven't this far. Don't think this adventure's gonna end
Plus,
anytime soon.
I don't know how crazy I can get.
Oh, that will be quite joyous to experience.
Yes.
And I am quite fond that you actually took on some scales. That's really...
Hey, I'm going to come back to that form. That was pretty good. It wasn't for him being immune to the physical. I couldn't bite through him. He took no damage. But, maybe a mixture of a T-Rex and a dolphin. What would that be?
Ooh, now that's interesting. I don't know.
What would you call that?
Elaborate.
A D-Rex?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I'm out of jam.
Yeah, we should get some of that before.
Yeah,
I hate to see you without it.
me too. I think that's the
Yeah.
two boys are they're almost silhouetted with the sun at their back. Just having like
for
two old men.
clarity, though, because it sounded a little bit like this. Is this Cyric and Alton meaning they're going to sneak away before you get back to Neverwinter?
No.
Because you both said
No.
you didn't want to go
No.
there. No, right? Okay.
We're not
No.
leaving without Mara's decision for it.
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but I just because you said I don't want to go back there. I just wanted to totally clarify that.
Yeah, and I think Tombro understood that was essentially what he was going to ask with the teleportation scroll. If
Okay.
that was nothing that was on the table, so.
Isn't that
But
freaking
he-
thing imprinted on my boat?
No, it's
No,
not.
that's a circle.
Printed on the little island.
The rock. I remember
Yeah.
now.
There's
Yeah.
a rock, and
Yeah.
Alton has a couple of other places
Ouch.
as well.
Yes, it does.
So
All
It
right.
does indeed.
Puppy.
So the rest of the journey passes without much incident. Mara has a very difficult task to do on returning to Neverwinter. Is that a conversation that you want to unfold here, or are you quite wanting just to say that it was the tearful experience that it probably will be?
Yeah, it will probably be a very tearful experience, and telling the mother and the mother telling the boy.
Yeah.
Could
absolutely.
I roll another medicine check to see if she can? Oh no, yeah, he's been altered, so she won't be able to find out, even if I try.
To find out what sort of this?
How long he's been dead?
no, you won't know.
No,
It's not something you can just keep rolling and rolling and rolling.
no.
Anyway, there's probably someone back in Neverwinter who could tell you. You know what
I mean-
presumably there's a cleric somewhere who could tell by.
It's obvious. It's obvious that he looks like he's been dead much longer than
He
he
has
actually has been
Yeah,
by decades.
yeah.
Something magical in nature.
But you know for a fact that he cannot have been dead more than a short few weeks.
Yeah.
Because he was last seen alive, in the 10th of time, so it's highly unlikely. Obviously, the Rakshasa was put in place.
I think the reason why he wouldn't be sure of that is the Rakshasa. Rakshasa entered the possibility that there's been a different. Right? I mean, from Mara's point of view.
Well, make an intelligence check, Mara.
Jesus.
10?
I think even with a 10, it's like from the letter that you previously had, it was clear the Rakshasa was put in place to be rescued as the Overgold, because that letter was, Mara was worried that somebody, the letter said something along the lines of, it's all right, we've got someone ready to replace him.
Yeah.
And Mara was very concerned that this was machinations within the church. But
Yeah.
you're fairly confident that this now references the Rakshasa and the fact that he'd paid the Silken Woe to replace the Overgold.
Yeah. She will try and get a diamond for 500 gold, and she'll try the raise dead ritual.
Okay.
Where'd you get that money?
Where did I get 500 gold?
Have 500.
We have way more than
I
500
know,
gold.
but we have it.
I know. I'm just giving a shit.
Now, whether you can actually find a diamond
take my
worth
money.
500 in Neverwinter is another story.
Scale, did you pay import tax as you entered into town with this boat?
I haven't set foot on land yet.
Harbor is Neverwinter soil.
You just said soil.
Shut up and pay the fucking fine. 500
So you
gold.
Better
is-
pay the fine.
You go and find a diamond worth 500 gold. That's not a problem at all. You spend an hour casting the raise dead ritual, and the diamond is consumed, the magical energy expended, and unfortunately, the Overgold is still very much dead.
Right. So then she will put him in his robes and, she'll go tell the wife.
His leg falls off.
Yes. Shit. Glue.
And there's obviously a very long and very emotional visitation with Elazir and her son. As I say, Mara is almost considered a daughter that she doesn't have, or a younger sister, a sort of combination of the two. The son definitely sort of regards you almost like the older sister he doesn't have. And, that's traumatic and trying for Mara. And well, I think the next thing is obviously like a state walking funeral. What does that? Because obviously I think that's where the scene sort of pans away on the private scene of grief and between two close friends. And the next thing it pans to a couple of days later, and it's Mara back in control, in full flow, organizing and things. And whether or not she's to become the long-term Overgold of Neverwinter, she is in the depth of organizing the funeral. And what does the funeral of an Overgold of a city like Neverwinter? What is when the next scene and the flavor of the funeral takes place? What does that look like?
Now, normally there would be there's a procession that moves with golden banners, and there will be golden banners, but unlike usually, Mara will have them sort of handing out gold to the poor, handing out silver to the poor. Then they shall move into the procession into the place where the temple was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will be encased in a chest made out of gold. And then he will be buried beneath the ground where the temple should have been.
Yeah, and you've seen it even in a few
There's an empty
days.
thud here.
Yeah, literally still smouldering ruins.
I know, I helped clean up.
Actually, see, there's a huge amount of work has been done, even in the few days that you've been away clearing the site, and especially when you've come back with the news of the death of the Overgold. They have specifically managed to create a procession path from what was the front door towards where the temple area and the actual altar was, and there's an entrance to a crypt underneath there, and that's all been cleared. So there still is rubble and timbers and things, but they've been covered as well as they can, and as reverently as they can to do this, and there's but absolutely, and he is interred underneath where all the previous passed away overgolds of Neverwinter have been, underneath the temple.
She will preside over the funeral rites, but she always seems a bit angry. Whatever she does, she seems to just be sort of angry about something that just seems to be stressing her.
I think as the camera's panning across the congregation,
Mm-hmm.
at some stage you will see probably Cyric having an awkward funeral laugh, and Scale like fixing an awkward bow tie on Alton as he's like super uncomfortable with it. Bright
Is he
red
back in his he's in his
good
velour fancy boy clothes?
He's in his fancy boy outfit.
Yeah.
Stay tuned to Twitter if you want to see what that looks like later.
Yeah.
The fancy boy outfit.
But imagine a good little lord.
So that was my proudest moment as a leader. To buy everyone fancy clothes.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the funeral goes because it is what it is, and there's the wake and all the pomp and ceremony. But soon that time passes, and Mara is asked, at least temporarily, to step into the role of Overgold. How does she react? Does she accept the responsibility, knowing that, as she does with the officiousness of the church, that if she accepts it, the high chances that that's it, and her life of travel, other than to the ends of business, is at an end point as well? Or does she run away from the responsibility and go off adventuring with her dear companions?
I don't know. The last couple of days, she has been having bad dreams.
I mean, I wasn't going to say that because you cast spells and things like that, but the way that the Rakshasa was, Alton and Mara actually wouldn't be able to get spells back, because the curse of a Rakshasa, when you scratch them, you are plagued with nightmares and are unable to get the benefit of short and long rests. But
okay.
I've deliberate.
We probably would have been restored, we'll say, narratively. Would a restoration from like a high level cleric?
Well, I'm going to have to. It's a remove curse spell, but I'm just going to let it all slide, because Mara wouldn't have been able to do the speak dead and all that sort of stuff on the boat. So I'm just going to ignore
narrative more important than mechanics.
Absolutely is.
I disagree. How many meals do we eat a day? No, do I eat my vegetables?
You have a pretty big decision to make there, Mara.
Yeah, I know.
That's deliberately why he's prevaricating. I know exactly
what he's doing.
Terror is trying even more thoughtfully than
character versus player is interlocked in these are the real battles of D&D ever.
I have this golden dragon. Fuck me, it's dusty.
I mean, this, if you're really unsure, because Mara is genuinely that torn, put it to a dice.
I think that what Mara does is that she gets.
I actually don't think he should do that. I think he should. I think do what's best for him and the character.
When Mara is holding on to the symbol of office, she just kind of stare at it, and she'll look at its golden sheen and the symbol of Joaquin. She'll think of, she'll have the big fancy temple, all like the attendants. She could do all this stuff in this town. She could build poor houses and roads and whatever she wants. Like this is
Her view,
the golden.
her view just
Yeah.
that's all the good stuff. Then her view moves over to like Cyric chasing a rat on the floor.
Yeah.
Alton like desperately trying to rip the bow tie off himself. The scale trying to keep it all together.
Scale is looking at the symbol of office like, I wonder what I can sell that for.
She's probably scoping out any sculptures that are not bolted down right now.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
still a ruin.
let's just say you don't see a waif and stray during the funeral.
And all you hear is and a pillar is being moved slowly.
But she's thinking of all of these things she can get with this symbol. And then she remembers her mentor and all the beginnings of her road of she didn't start this journey to have a fancy title, to have a fancy temple in Neverwinter. She wanted to go out into the world and do things for Joaquin and spread the message of Salintar. To actually be able to go out and like they could to spend the money, spread the ideals, and then also all those people have sacrificed. All the people in our party have sacrificed so much to get back a person that is a member of her religion. It isn't even somebody they particularly care about, but they did it for her. And now, when it's her time to sort of be honest in what they gave to her, she's just going to abandon them because she gets a fancy house. That wouldn't make her a very honest trader in this, because they gave her everything and she gives nothing back. And especially with Salir, who's by own fault on one end, but he lost his life into this other world and she abandons him. Cyric has a sister that he needs to find and have revenge on, and she does nothing about that. There's an evil spirit from another dimension that wants to kill Alton, and so she's
What's
picking
new,
a
huh?
coffee couch. Yeah.
Yes, it's
And-
Tuesday.
And in the end, Garvin would die of boredom if he had to stick around in Neverwinter, looking at a bunch of boring bankers for the rest of his life.
Shower of bankers.
So
Roll me a d20.
18?
Scale.
Okay. So as Mara's mind...
Plus scale is there.
Scale is there.
Yeah,
He will get
and
paid.
No, I think that was the etc. at the end.
Yeah. So as Mara's mind ponders all these things and her decision starts to formulate, your goddess shows herself in some way. And there's nothing overt. She doesn't speak to you. But you just feel a slightly serene presence next to you, and the light coming through the window takes on an extra golden sheen that's almost like the glimmer of gold off of a pile of coins. And you feel very confident that she's happy with the decision that you've made.
Mara puts down the symbol of office. I'm running away. She said, whoever handed to her, she's saying, I'm running away. Actually, I'm going to send a letter to the Overgold in and they can pick who gets the lead, because this isn't my job. She gets up and she says her goodbye to Elir, and yeah, they leave.
Okay. And I think that the closing scene of this story is just maybe the party sort of sitting on the caravan with Louisa, juggling along the road with Rufus lolloping by the side.
Alton's riding the dog.
Alton's riding the dog. Just off to their next destination as the scene and the curtains close, as they say.
boat!
But you will notice that Mara applauds like this.
I know I was a little bit unfair to Scale, but you
My
know,
boat!
we had other.
We'll buy you another boat. Shut up. You have the money to
Okay.
buy another boat.
I use my money that I get to put wheels on the boat. We didn't bring it with
Jesus.
Truck boat.
But the reason for those watching that we are drawing a veil is we're going to change things about a little bit. We are going to be moving our stream to a new and homebrewed world. And we are going to try and, although I'm very proud of the stories that we have told here, I have felt that we've lost a little bit of focus occasionally. So we're going to try and have slightly more focused narrative stories that maybe not be quite so
Open-ended.
open-ended. Yeah, not putting training wheels on and not railroading people, but definitely having a little bit more guidance to the storylines and things like that. So with that said, we shall probably be streaming next week. It will be probably a one-shot. Not entirely sure exactly what we're going to be doing yet, but keep an eye on Twitter for that. Then there will be a 2-week hiatus, which is planned because I'm going away on holiday, so I'll not be about anyway. And then we shall be restarting our next major story on, I think, did I say that was the 21st of July?
Yeah, I mean,
so.
we'll go with
In
that
the
for now. That might change depending.
Yes, but keep an eye on Twitter and stuff, exactly.
That's a very tentative sort of a thing because there's lots of things that have to happen in order for that date to work.
Yeah.
True.
So we should be Gucci, as they say.
Believe so.
We will see you here next week.
Yes, we will definitely be here in some form or another next week.
It'll
at the
probably be
same
a
time.
super stripped back one shot.
Or me.
I
I'm
won't
gonna
be
be
here.
a DM.
Oh,
Aw,
yeah.
Sarek.
I won't be here next week, however.
That's fine.
But we love you.
And I think you're pretty.
Aw.
Hey, you're alright. So.
Oh.
You're a Baldur's Gate 7, alright?
God's sakes. Do we have any
We
followers or anything to...
We had one beautiful friend. Not my friend, but he
Mine.
will be.
Not my
Because
favorite.
he's a follower. His name is
Aw.
the 9,
9.
because it's the 9.
The mighty
2
9.
9s. 9.
Hmm.
I have a feeling
Thank
The
you
no
very
nine.
much.
maybe a
One
critter.
is NEIN and then a
And then
9.
9, yeah.
And it's just so it's 9.
So thank you,
Okay.
99,
But
for
thank you
the
for the
follow.
follow. We appreciate all
Always.
the follows we get. As always, you can find us on Twitter at SavioursRP.
It's down here. No.
D&D.
Still D&D.
Still
Saviours
D&D.
DND. And this will be up on YouTube. So if you missed it, or if you wanna like send it to your friends, be like, hey, check out this thing. Maybe you'll like it, and we would appreciate that if you did that. And just join us next week as we do a mystery. Who knows what's going on?
It's going to be super weird
yeah.
not playing these characters next week, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I
We
guess
may- I don't. Although we're going on to a custom world, we do not rule out
no,
doing
of course not.
Where's Celir story,
Yeah,
or
it's also like there is more to that story, right? But
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess in closing, I speak on behalf of everyone, just thanking anyone who has been consistent and here, or even if you've just popped in and enjoyed yourself. Thank you for the support.
Thanks, Dan.
This has been
Yeah.
very much a labor of our love of narrative and D&D. That's the whole reason we started streaming in the first place.
We just like playing D&D.
We love it. We love it.
We just love tabletop games.
For sure, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's alright. It's alright. Yeah.
We're just a bunch of nerds.
Oh yeah, well that's. I mean,
Speak
that's
for
obvious.
yourself.
That's obvious to
Except
anybody who's
me.
ever watched. So.
I'm not a nerd. I would never associate with those nerds.
I mean, and it's still on brand that we still don't know how to close the show off. But
I'm maintaining that.
yeah, no, I think I don't want to lose that. You know, that's very important.
Yeah.
All right.
We have good openings and we have terrible endings.
Good openings. I mean, it's muted half the time we open the stream. Listen, it's a whole thing.
Right.
Just because people don't get to hear it, it's good content.
Yeah.
For the time being, I hope everyone who has been watching this will also wish the Redwall Saviors a good night for the time being.
And if anybody's watching this in the far-flung future after watching some other campaign and coming back to watch the archives, thank you for watching old episodes, and I hope you can enjoy all the new content that's coming out Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
There will be
Also,
flashing
I'm
lights.
I'm sorry for what you had to go through.
I mean, you
apologize.
probably deserve.
I apologize for terror, so just
Don't apologize.
we all
for
know.
me.
We all know.
Yeah, we all
The
know.
shame
Right.
makes me.
We're gonna close this properly this time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Go
so-
Team IKEA.
We're not closing on Team IKEA. You can stop that.
Farewell.
More Marv.
We'll see you next
Get it-
week.
yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us on the journey with this, and look forward to the future. There's lots coming up.
Yeah.
Been a
Bye.
pleasure.
It's sure been a Sunday. Bye bye.
Bye.